In the busy city of Melon, there was a large estate with 15 flats where many different families lived. Among them were two teenage girls, Shamata and Angola. Although they went to the same school and lived in the same estate, they were very different in their behavior and lifestyle. Shamata was known for her beauty and carefree attitude. She loved attention and enjoyed being admired by men. She often did things to get noticed, and many people in the estate talked about her choices. To her, life was all about fun and doing what she wanted. But deep down, something about her seemed strange and mysterious, even to those who knew her well. Angola, on the other hand, was very different. She was quiet, hardworking, and prayed every day. She cared deeply for her family and friends. Angola was focused on her schoolwork and often helped others in the estate. She was respectful, disciplined, and always tried to do the right thing. Her good behavior made her loved by everyone who knew her. Many people saw Angola as an example of how to live a good life. Despite their differences, Shamata and Angola had been friends since they were children. Their friendship surprised many people because they seemed like complete opposites. Angola often tried to guide Shamata and encourage her to make better choices, but Shamata rarely listened. What most people in the estate didn't know was that Shamata had a dark secret. She was possessed by a marine spirit, a supernatural force that controlled her actions and brought harm to others. This spirit made Shamata more attractive to men, but it also caused problems for anyone who got close to her. One of the people affected by Shamata was Mr. Emmanuel, a successful businessman who lived in the estate with his wife Grace. Emmanuel fell for Shamata's charm, even though his wife repeatedly warned him to stay away from her. This decision led to many problems for Emmanuel. He lost his success, missed important opportunities, and faced a lot of hardship. While Shamata's choices caused chaos, Angola's prayers and kind actions brought hope to those around her. Her faith and discipline inspired many people in the estate. She showed that living a good and honest life could bring peace and happiness, even during difficult times. This story is about the difference between good and bad choices, the unseen forces that affect our lives, and the strength of the human spirit. It shows how one person's actions can lead to destruction, while another's can bring light and hope. The story begins in the heart of the estate, where the lives of Shamata, Angola, and other residents are closely connected. Everyday events, like school routines and neighborhood activities, set the stage for the events that unfold. Shamata had always been attractive, even as a child, but as she grew older, her beauty became dangerous. She started seeking attention from men and had many relationships. These encounters gave her short-term pleasure, but left her feeling empty. Angola often warned Shamata about her behavior, but Shamata would laugh it off and call her old-fashioned. Angola, however, remained focused on her goals. She spent her time praying, studying, and helping others. She tutored younger children in the estate, helped older neighbors with their errands, and volunteered at church. Angola's life was filled with purpose and kindness, which made her a positive influence in the community. The turning point came when Shamata targeted Emmanuel, a wealthy and respected man in the estate. Emmanuel was happily married, but he couldn't resist Shamata's charm. His wife, Grace, noticed the changes in him and tried to warn him. She begged him to avoid Shamata, but Emmanuel didn't listen. As Emmanuel became more involved with Shamata, his life began to fall apart. Business deals that seemed certain started to fail. His colleagues began to distrust him, and his health got worse. Grace's warnings about Shamata's harmful influence became clear, but by then, it was too late. Emmanuel's story became a warning for others in the estate, who started to see Shamata for who she truly was. Through all of this, Angola continued to pray for everyone, including Shamata and Emmanuel. Her prayers brought comfort to Grace and others who were affected by the events. Angola's strong faith became a source of hope for many in the estate. Shamata's life was filled with reckless behavior. She was always seeking attention and validation from men, not because she loved them, but because it made her feel powerful. She often bragged about her relationships, ignoring the pain and problems they caused. The marine spirit that controlled Shamata used her to bring harm to others. Every man who got involved with her experienced bad luck. Their businesses failed, their relationships broke down, and they lost their peace of mind. But Shamata didn't see the damage she was causing. She thought her actions were harmless and believed she was just enjoying life. Angola tried many times to talk to Shamata and encourage her to change, but Shamata didn't want to listen. She thought Angola was too strict and didn't understand her way of life. This attitude made it harder for Angola to help her. As time went on, more people in the estate started to notice the trouble that followed Shamata. Her reputation suffered, but her beauty and charm continued to attract new victims. The cycle of destruction seemed endless, and Shamata showed no sign of stopping. Emmanuel's first encounter with Shamata seemed innocent. She greeted him warmly and made casual conversation whenever they met. Over time, Emmanuel found himself drawn to her. She had a way of making him feel special and important. Even though Grace, Emmanuel's wife, warned him about Shamata, he didn't listen. What started as friendly chats soon turned into an affair. Emmanuel didn't realize that every moment he spent with Shamata was draining him of his energy and clouding his judgment. His business began to fail, and he lost the trust of his colleagues. Emmanuel's health also started to decline. Grace's warnings about Shamata's destructive power became clear, but by then, Emmanuel was already deeply affected. Grace, feeling helpless, turned to Angola for support. Angola prayed with her and encouraged her to stay strong. Despite their efforts, it took a series of major losses for Emmanuel to finally see the truth about Shamata. By the time Emmanuel realized what had happened, his life was in ruins. His business was gone, his health was poor, and his relationships were damaged. Shamata had left a permanent mark on his life, showing the dangers of ignoring wisdom and falling for temptation. Angola's life was simple but full of purpose. She believed in living a good and honest life. Every day, she prayed for her family, friends, and even those who hurt her. Her faith gave her strength and peace. At school, Angola worked hard and always did her best. Her teachers admired her, and her classmates respected her. She often helped others with their studies and encouraged them to do well. Angola's kindness extended beyond school. She helped neighbors with errands and spent time volunteering at church. Angola's influence in the estate was powerful. She showed people that living a disciplined and prayerful life could bring happiness and peace. Her actions inspired many to be better and gave hope to those who felt lost. This story of Shamata and Angola highlights the power of choices. It shows how living recklessly can bring harm, while living with discipline and kindness can inspire others and bring peace. It is a story of lessons, hope, and the enduring strength of faith.